So in the last session, so we covered about synchronization, synchronized method, and what is object level lock, class level lock we covered. So now in this session, synchronized block, synchronized block, this concept we have to explain. Synchronized block, okay, synchronized block concept. Okay, first observe a bit carefully. We have already synchronized method is there, we covered. What is the need of synchronized block? How we can declare, what is the purpose or what is the advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method? Okay, so just let me explain one small analogy so that you people can able to understand very easily, right? Okay, assume that in Hyderabad, okay, almost this was happened 2 years back or 1 year back. In Hyderabad there is one area, so this is Hyderabad, there is one area named with Dilshuk Nagar. Okay, Dilshuk Nagar. There was 2 bomb blasts. Have you remembered? There were two bomb blasts was happened almost 1 year or 2 years back. Okay, this a few years back. This was happened here in the Dilshuk Nagar area. Dilshuk Nagar area, there were 2 bomb blasts happened. Now, so here bomb blasts happened at Dilshuk Nagar area. That's why no flight is allowed to start from New York City. Okay, no flight is allowed to start from New York City. Then the people will ask, "Hey, why flights are not allowed to start from New York, boss? There's a big bomb blast happened at Dilshuk Nagar. That's why we can't start the flights at New York City." No city bus allowed to start in London. No city bus allowed to start in London. Then the London people will ask, "Arey, what is the problem? Why city buses are not starting?" Simple, boss. There is a bomb blast at Dilshuk Nagar. That's why how the buses are going to start at London is nothing but like. Now, no train, local train allowed to start from Sydney. Okay, Sydney, no local train allowed to start from Sydney. Sydney is Australia. Okay, why trains are not allowed to start from Sydney? Oh, simple. There is a big bomb blast happened at Dilshuk Nagar. How the local trains are allowed to start at Sydney? Is nothing but like. If I can do this type of programming, then the people are going to get left and right. Correct or not? If the bomb blast happened at Dilshuk Nagar, then block Dilshuk Nagar area or block entire Hyderabad. What is the need of flights are not allowed to start from New York, local buses are not allowed to start from London, and the local trains are not allowed to start from Sydney? Worst kind of programming practice. Correct or not? Okay, this type of programming practice is the worst. If I can implement this type of programming practice, if this type of programming, then the people are going to laugh, I'm sure. Okay, are getting? So, if the bomb blast happened at Dilshuk Nagar, then block Dilshuk Nagar area. Why we have to block our New York flights or London trains or London buses and Sydney trains, right? This type of worst kind of programming practice not at all recommended to implement. Are getting? But very unfortunate, most of the programmers are doing this type of programming practice only. Why and where? Just observe this one. Sir, I have one method is there. Sir, I have one M1 method is there. Just observe. I have one method M1 is there. Okay. This M1 is full lengthy method. Okay, lengthy method. Almost around 10,000 lines of the code is there. A big method is there. M1 lengthy method is there. In that 10,000 lines of the code, very few lines of the code, hardly 10 lines. Very few lines of the code required synchronization. Are getting very few lines. So not total method, very few lines. Boss, here database operations I'm performing. This database operation should be performed by only one thread at a time. If very few lines of the code require synchronization, then what most of the people are doing is nothing but declare entire method as synchronized. Declare entire method as synchronized. Are getting? Sir, 10 lines of the code required synchronization. If I block 10,000 lines of the code with a synchronized, performance is going to be down or not. Okay, this is because I want to call M1. Boss, M1 already executed by some other. Please wait until first thread completes. Is nothing more. Because of declaring entire method as a synchronized, waiting time of the threads is going to increase like anything. Automatically performance is going to be down. Correct or not? Okay, this is. If very few lines of the code required synchronization, never recommended to declare entire method as a synchronized. Are getting? Because so same problems are the bomb blast at Dilshik Nagar area. Bomb blast at Dilshik Nagar area, then so flights are not allowed to start New York City, or trains are not allowed to start at Sydney, buses are not allowed to start at London. This programming and this programming, there is no much difference. Are you getting that? Okay, this if very few lines of the code require synchronization, never recommended to declare entire method as a synchronized, then how you can handle those few lines of the code? Instead of declaring method as synchronized, those few lines of the code declare inside a synchronized block. Are you getting? Those few lines of the code declare inside a synchronized block is nothing but it's a recommended good programming practice, right? Are you able to understand? Okay, this is. So this is the synchronized block. Can you tell what is the advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method? What is the advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method? Performance by default will be improved. Sir, here this area, multiple threads are allowed to access, no problem at all. This area, multiple threads are allowed to access, no problem at all. This area, multiple threads are allowed to access, no problem at all. But this particular area can be executed by only one thread at a time. Okay, this is. So to execute there, waiting time of the thread is nothing but very less, but to execute this one, waiting time of thread is nothing but very high. That's why highly recommended, make sure you people should have clear clarity. If very few lines of the code required synchronization, then never recommended to declare entire method as a synchronized. Those few lines of the code we have to declare inside the synchronized block. Is it clear for all of you? The biggest advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method is performance by default will be improved because threads are not required to wait much time. It reduces waiting time of the threads and the performance by default will be improved. Is it clear for all of you? What is a synchronized block? What is the advantage of synchronized block when compared with a synchronized method? So few lines required synchronization. Enclose those lines inside synchronized block. So total method required synchronization, then declare method as the synchronizer. Is it clear? Method declaring synchronizer global. Next few lines declared inside synchronized block is the local. Are you getting? Only these lines of the code require synchronization, then synchronized block. So total method required synchronization, then declare the method as the synchronizer. Is it clear? Synchronizer block, synchronizer method, when we should go for. Okay, let me go for another simple example so that you people can evaluate clearly, right? Yeah, legend this example well. Sir, let me go for a simple another example. Here, legend. Sir, we have Hyderabad is there and Vijayawada is there. Hyderabad and Vijayawada is there. Now, from Hyderabad to Vijayawada, around 300 kilometers is the distance. How much time it will take is assume 6 hours olden days, but now 4 hours hardly because 4 lanes highway, yeah, so is available. That's why just a matter of 4 hours is enough. But earlier olden days, assume 6 hours time is required. Are you getting? 6 hours time is required to travel from Hyderabad to Vijayawada. Okay, like 6 hours. 6 hours time is required to travel from Hyderabad to Vijayawada. Like now. Here what I am taking here is just observe this one. Just what I am taking in the middle yet Kodada. In the middle yet Kodada. Okay, there is one. Okay, this is local bridge is there. A small bridge is there. Narrow bridge is there at Kodada. Narrow bridge is there. On this bridge, at a time only one vehicle can travel. Are you getting? At a time only one vehicle can travel on this bridge. At a time only one vehicle can travel. Okay, this is. Now the point here is observe Hyderabad to Vijayawada in the narrow bridge only one vehicle is allowed to travel. Is nothing but like That's why what the people did is nothing but boss, Hyderabad to Vijayawada, at a time only one vehicle is allowed to travel, because at Kodada narrow bridge is there, on that bridge only one vehicle is allowed. Is nothing but like the people, okay, this is suggested, okay, then the government decided, right? If it is the case, at a time how many vehicles can travel? How many vehicles can travel? Sir, first vehicle started. Until this vehicle reaches Vijayawada, no other vehicle is allowed to start from Hyderabad side or from Vijayawada side. Assume was first vehicle came and so on, is nothing but reached to Vijayawada. Now from the Vijayawada side another vehicle started. Okay, after 6 hours this vehicle came here. After that another third vehicle started. After 6 hours it reached here. So the people will ask, "Arey, why man? Only one vehicle is allowed between Hyderabad and Vijayawada." Then the answer is, boss, there is one very narrow bridge is there. That narrow bridge, on that narrow bridge, only one vehicle is allowed to travel. That's why is nothing but like these people. Then, so if it is the case, per day, how many vehicles can allowed to travel? Per day, how many vehicles are allowed to travel? How many vehicles are allowed to travel? 4. At a time only 4 vehicles are allowed to travel. Is nothing but then what will happen is, so if my target is nothing but my lifetime visit is my lifetime goal to reach Vijayawada, in my lifetime I may not reach Vijayawada, right? Because at a time only per day 4 vehicles is nothing but hardly, so I may stay on the earth 10,000 days, then automatically 40,000 vehicles, my vehicle may be there or may not be there. Are you getting? That's why make sure this type of programming practice is worst kind of programming practice. Correct or not? Okay, this is not at all worst kind of programming practice. What the government decided is, boss, Hyderabad to Vijayawada, multiple vehicles are allowed to travel, but the narrow bridge wherever it is there, this particular area keep inside synchronized block. Then multiple vehicles are allowed to travel, no problem at all. Multiple vehicles are allowed to travel, but at this place, how many vehicles can travel is nothing. Only one vehicle can travel. After crossing this bridge, now second vehicle. After crossing this, third vehicle is nothing but like, sir, here between Hyderabad to Vijayawada, at a time only one vehicle can travel. 6 hours I require to wait. But here on this narrow bridge, how much am I required to wait? Hardly 1 minute I may require to wait. Hardly 1 minute. Which one is the good programming practice? Block this bridge or block entire 300 kilometers. Are you getting? Block this particular bridge. Are you getting? If very few lines of the code require synchronization, then it is not recommended. Okay, this is to declare entire method as a synchronized. We have to enclose those a few lines of the code by using what? Synchronizer block. Is it clear for all of you? Okay, this is. So what is a synchronizer block? What is the advantage of synchronizer block over synchronizer method? Okay, at this point, if very few lines of the code required synchronization, then it is not recommended to declare. Entire method as a synchronized. Then it's not recommended to declare entire method as a synchronized. Not recommended to declare entire method as a synchronized. Synchronizer. We have to enclose those a few lines of the code. We have to enclose those a few lines of the code by using synchronized block. We have to enclose those a few lines of the code by using synchronized block. Next para. The main advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method is The main advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method is it reduces waiting time. It reduces waiting time of threads. It reduces waiting time of threads and improves performance of the system. It reduces waiting time of threads and improves performance of the application or system, any word you can use, performance of the system. Okay, that's all. Is it clear for all of you? What is the advantage of synchronized block when compared with the synchronized method? Okay, this is. Now let me explain the last class example. One display wish method is there. Now I want to run the show with the synchronized block concept. But before that, how to declare synchronized block? Let me explain, and then we can talk about synchronized demo program. Right? First observe, sir, we can declare synchronized block like this. Here, see, sir, we can declare. Don't write, just listen. So here, synchronized of this I am taking. Synchronized of this I am taking. Do you know, to get lock of current object? Sir, this means what? Lock of this means what? Current object. So if a thread got lock of current, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Are you getting right? So if a thread got lock of current object, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Then only it is allowed to execute this area. Okay, this is. So to get lock of current object, are you getting? If a thread got lock of current object, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Correct or not? I hope you people can able to understand how we can declare synchronized block to get a lock of current object. And sir, sometime I don't want to get lock of current object. I want to get a lock of particular object B. Okay, yeah, to get lock of particular object. To get lock of particular object B. To get lock of particular object B. How to declare synchronized block? Is synchronized of B. Synchronized of B. Now here just observe this one. Synchronized of B. Okay, if a thread got lock of particular object B. If a thread got lock of particular object B, then only it is allowed to execute this area. It is allowed to execute this area. Then only it is allowed to execute this area. Is nothing but like. I hope you people can give it clearly, right? Sir, if a thread got lock of particular object B, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Is nothing but like. Sir, I don't want lock of current object, or I don't want lock of particular object. I want to get class level lock. Are you getting? Object level locks, lock of current object, lock of particular object. But I want class level lock. Sir, display class is there. In our example, display class is there. Display class level lock I want. Display class level lock I want. Then how to declare? So to get class level lock. To get a class level lock. Can you tell how to declare synchronized block? Is nothing but very simple. Synchronized. Can you spell out what is the way? Synchronized. What is the way? How I can get synchronized? Synchronized of display. Synchronized of display dot class. synchronized of display dot class is nothing but like, sir, which class level lock, sir, display dot class. Okay, display dot class represent class object of display. That class object lock we are going to get, which is nothing but class level lock. So here, okay, if a thread got class level lock of display class level lock of display class, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Then only it's allowed to execute this area. Like, so total, have you observed? To get lock of current object, to get lock of particular object, to get a class level lock. What is the way? The terminology is very clear for all of you. Okay, add. We can declare synchronized block. We can declare synchronized block as follows. We can declare synchronized block as follows. Okay, yeah, the first one, keep subheading. To get a lock of current object, to get a lock of current object, what is the approach? Next, to get a lock of particular object, to get lock of particular object, to get lock of current object, to get lock of particular object. Take clearly, synchronizer of this. If a thread got lock of current object, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Next, second one, to get a lock of particular object B. Particular object B. To get lock of particular object B. To get lock of particular object B. Lock of particular object B. Are you getting that? Okay, this. Now we add synchronized of B. Yeah. If a thread got lock of particular object B, then only it is allowed to execute this area. If a thread got lock of particular object B, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Next, to get a class level lock. Synchronized of display dot class. Display dot class. If a thread got class level lock of display class, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Completed, right? If a thread got class level lock of display class, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Completed, I hope. Okay, so this is the way how we can declare class level lock, how you can declare synchronized blocks to get lock of current object, to get lock of particular object, to get a class level lock What are various possibilities are there? Completed, right? Okay. Let me go for a simple example to demonstrate how to use a synchronizer block. Let me go for a simple program, simple example, whatever we covered with respect to synchronizer method. Same thing I will explain. Take special care to understand this terminology, right? And now here see, what I will do here is observe. Here, same example. Here observe. Sir, class display class. Have you remember in the last class we covered this method, class display class. Within that one method is there. What is that method? Public void wish method is there. Public void wish method is there. String name to whom we have to wish. String name. But here assume within this wish method, assume here 1 lakh lines of code. 1 lakh lines of code is there at the beginning. Assume 1 lakh dot 1 lakh lines of the code. Next for int I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than 10. System.out.print. Have you remembered? System.out.print good morning. And after printing good morning, then my thread will enter into which state? Sleeping. Try thread dot sleep of 2 seconds time. Try thread dot sleep of 2 seconds time. Catch block interrupted exception E, like I'm taking interrupted exception E. After sleeping, now my thread system.out.println of name, SOP of name like this I'm taking. So end of the for loop. Okay, this is sir, good morning, sleep, print name, good morning, sleep, print name, good morning, sleep, print name. This cycle by default will be repeated, right? After completing, another 1 lakh lines of the code is there. Okay, another 1 lakh lines of code. Another 1 lakh lines of the code. End of the wish method, end of the class. Is it clear for all of you? Right? Okay, this is. So class display wish method is there like we have. Now my target is, let me start this thread. Okay, what is the class? You know, can you spell out what is the class name? Class my thread extends a thread. Class my thread extends a thread. Okay, here display D comma string name. Display D comma string name. My thread of display D comma string name. My thread of display D comma string name. Okay, this dot D is equal to D. This dot name is equal to name. This dot name is equal to name. Okay, now my target is public void run method, public void run method for int I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. Sorry, for here public void run method. Within the run method, what code we have to take? Here observe this one. So on display object we have to call wish method by passing name as the argument. On the display object we have to call wish method by passing name as the argument, right? Okay, like we have to call, this is the job of the thread is nothing but like this one. Now here observe this one. Here I am taking class synchronized demo. Okay, public static void main string array accept. I want to start a thread. To start a thread, compulsory which thing must be required? Display object is required. Okay, this is now display D is equal to new display. Display D is equal to new display. I create a display object because on the display object, okay, this is now my thread T1 is equal to new my thread T1 is equal to new my thread of D comma Dhoni as the argument. Same example, my thread T1 is equal to new my thread of D comma Dhoni. My thread T2 is equal to new my thread of D comma Yuvraj as argument. Yuvraj. Now do you know T1 dot start method, T2 dot start method, T1 dot start, T2 dot start. Have you observed? Both the threads are going to execute simultaneously on this display object. Both threads are going to call which method simultaneously. Am I going to get regular output or irregular output? Irregular output. We covered, right? Okay, this is. So let me execute this code anywhere, right? Okay, 1 minute. Can you please? So here just observe. Now just observe this one. Here see, synchronized demo I am taking. In the last example, whatever there, same example, all these things are not required. Public void which method? Here almost 1 lakh lines of the code is there. Okay, here 1 lakh lines of the code. 1 lakh lines of code. Anyway, right? 1 lakh lines of the code. Next up, for loop. After completing for loop, once again another 1 lakh lines of the code is there. 1 lakh lines of code. Are you getting? 1 lakh lines of the code is there, like this is the for loop. My thread T display D is equal to new display, and my thread T1 is equal to new my thread of D comma Dhoni D comma Yuvraj. D comma Dhoni D comma Yuvraj. T1 dot start, T2 dot start. Okay, this is. Now here observe this terminology, right? Now see, Java C synchronized demo. Java C synchronized demo dot Java. The code compiles fine. Java synchronized demo. Sir, I didn't use anywhere synchronizer keyword. That's why what is the output I am going to get? Is nothing more regular or irregular output? Irregular output we are getting. Irregular, right? But the problem here is, then how I can make here the regular? There are two approaches. One approach is declare entire method as a synchronized. Are you getting? Declare which method as a synchronized. I did in the last. But the problem in this approach is, if I declare which method as a synchronized, total code by default will be executed for only one thread at a time. Are you getting? Total code by default will be executed for only one thread at a time. Sir, I don't want total code, I don't want to block. So my requirement, synchronization is required only for loop. Are you getting? For these 1 lakh lines of the code, I don't want synchronization. That's why only this code required. Only this code. So then how I can do is, don't declare method as a synchronizer. Okay, which code required synchronization, that particular block, that particular thing, sir, this for loop required synchronization. Correct or not? Okay, this 1 lakh lines of the code we can execute. This 1 lakh lines of the code we can execute multiple times, no problem. I mean multiple threads, no problem. But these few lines of the code required synchronization, because for loop first half, second half is nothing but like, that's why the problem. So make sure what I can do, we can declare this by using synchronized of this. Synchronizer of this bracket open, bracket close. Are you getting? These 1 lakh lines of the code can be executed by multiple threads at a time. But this synchronizer block can be executed by only one thread at a time. These 1 lakh lines of the code can be executed by multiple threads at a time. Are you getting? Now, can I get regular output or irregular output? Regular output. Have you observed? Instead of declaring entire method as a synchronized, we can declare just a particular block as synchronized itself is nothing but possible. Now, let me declare with a synchronized block what will happen. Okay, here just observe. Can you spell out which lines of the code we have to declare? Which lines of the code we have to declare inside synchronized block? Only for loop, because this for loop required synchronization, right? That's why let me take synchronized of this. I'm taking synchronized of this. Okay, like I'm taking like this. Are you getting? So just I took only for loop. I took only for loop in synchronizer block. Synchronizer of this, like this I'm taking, right? Now observe this one. Sir, what is the output by default we are going to get? Have you observed? The output is good morning, like good morning Dhoni, like we are going to get. Is it regular output or irregular output? Regular output, right? I hope now you people can aware what is the importance of synchronizer block over synchronizer method. Is nothing more. What the advantage of synchronizer block over synchronizer method? Clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is if very few lines of the code require synchronization, then those few lines of the code we have to keep inside what? Synchronizer block. Is it clear? Instead of declaring entire method as a synchronizer, very few lines of the code which code requires synchronization, that particular part we can declare by using synchronizer block. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is, take this example clearly. Take this example, or otherwise you can take from board also, from screen also, no problem at all. You can take from screen, so which is more clarity anyway. Take from the screen first, and then you can take snap from the board. Class display public void wish method. Same example whatever we covered in the last class. I plus plus SOP of good morning, like completed, right? Synchronized of this. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus I hope is clear. So 1 lakh lines of the code. Completed, right? Class. Completed. Take clearly. So the same example we run already with the synchronizer method. Now I am explaining with respect to synchronizer block. Synchronizer method. Now it is synchronizer block. completed right. Clear? So after taking this, better to just a snap. If you want, you can cross check from the board. Completed right? Okay, that's all. This is the way how we can declare synchronized block. Is it clear for all of you? Right? Okay, this is. Now I want to make a small change for this program. You have to decide what is the answer we are going to get. What is my change is, listen this one. Display D is equal to new display. Can you tell how many display objects are there? Only one display object. First thread trying to call which method by passing the argument on the same display object. Second thread trying to call which method? Second thread trying to call which method by passing your as argument, right? Sir, both threads T1 and T2 both are going to execute which method simultaneously. Is it clear, right? That's why for both the threads current object means, sir, current object means that D object only. First thread got lock of current object, first thread got lock of current object, and then starts execution. Second thread came, boss, I want lock of current object only. Sorry, already first thread got. Until completing first thread you have to wait, like we are getting. So regular output, right? The threads are going to execute one by one because how many current objects are there? Only one object, which is the display object only, right? Now what I want to do, two objects I want to create, two display objects I want to create. Now observe, sir, display D1 is equal to new display, display D2 is equal to new display. Sir, getting how many display objects are there? Two display objects are there, display D1, display D2. My thread T1 is equal to new my thread of D1 comma Dhoni, D2 comma yours. My thread T1 is equal to new my thread of D1 comma Dhoni. My thread T2 is equal to new my thread of D2 comma yours. So first thread trying to call which method on D1 by passing Dhoni the argument. Correct, right? And first thread calls which method on which object? Which object? D1 object. For the first thread, which one is the current object? D1 is the current object, right? Now second thread D2, second thread calls which method by passing which one as the argument? Yours as the argument. Okay, T2. For first thread, current object is what? D1, because on the D1 it is calling which method. For the second thread, which is the current object? D2. So is it a different object or not? Yes. Can you tell both the threads will be executed simultaneously or not? Yes, because for both the threads current object is nothing but different. So yeah, for the first thread synchronizer of this, for the first thread synchronizer of this is nothing but for the first thread D1 is the current object. For the second thread D2 is the current object. Both the threads will get their own locks and they can able to execute simultaneously. Am I going to get regular output or irregular output? Irregular output, because both the threads are going to get in the chance. Now observe this one. Here display D1 and display D2. So here my thread T1 is equal to new my thread of D1. My thread T2 is equal to new my thread of D2 comma yours. T1 dot start, T2 dot start. Now observe what is the output I got? Irregular output, right? Regarding because for both the threads current object is nothing but different. Correct or not? For both the threads, current object itself is nothing but different. That's why irregular output by default we got. Any explanation is required about this one? Because for first thread, current object is D1. For the second thread, current object is nothing but what? D2, right? Okay, that is the reason. But now take a bit special care. Sir, I don't want lock of current object. I want class level lock. I want a class level lock. Can you tell how we can declare synchronized block to get a class level lock? Synchronized of. Can I spell out? Synchronized of display. Synchronized of display dot class. Synchronized of display dot class. Curly brace open and close. Now my question is synchronizer of display dot class curly brace open and close. Okay, well, now for first thread came, boss, I want to execute which method? First thread required which lock? Class level lock. But how many class level locks are available for display? Only one. First thread got starts execution. Second thread came, boss, I want to execute which method? Second thread required which lock? Class level lock. So is the second thread will get the chance immediately or it has to wait? It has to wait. That's why can I get regular output or irregular output? Regular or irregular? Regular, because class level lock. So how to declare synchronized block to get a class level lock? Clear example, right? Okay. Now let me go for that. Sir, display D1, display D2. Both objects are nothing but different objects only. Display D1 and display D2. Now synchronized off. Synchronized off instead of this. Can I spell out what is the code? Display dot class. Display dot class. Like I'm taking. Display dot class. Now observe the code compiles fine. For the answer, good morning Dhoni. Like is nothing but regular or irregular output. That's all. So I hope you people can give clearly the terminology right there. Any explanation is required? How we can declare synchronized block to get lock of current object? How we can declare synchronized block to get class level lock? And what is the advantage of synchronized block when compared with the synchronized method? Is nothing but like the terminology is clear. Now last conclusion about synchronized block. Last conclusion about synchronized block here. See, sir, we have in Java two types of locks. First lock is object level lock. Second lock is class level lock. Only two types of locks are available in Java: object lock, class level lock. Lock is applicable for object. Lock is applicable for class. Again, lock is applicable for object. Lock is applicable for class. But lock is not applicable for the primitive values. Correct or not? For primitives, lock concept is not there. Suppose if I am trying to pass primitive type as the argument, to synchronizer block, what will happen is nothing but just observe the terminology, right? Sir, int x is equal to 10. Sir, int x is equal to 10 I am taking. Okay, this is int x. Now synchronized of x. Synchronized of x. Int x is equal to 10. Synchronized of x. Now here see this point well. By mistake, if I am trying to do like this, immediately compile time method which are going to get. What is the reason is synchronized of object reference you can take or class type you can take, because object level lock is there, class level lock is there. But x is what? Primitive value. For the primitive value, where is the lock concept, man? That's why immediately compile time method we are going to get say unexpected type. Found int required. Found int but required is nothing but what? Reference. Found int but required reference is nothing but like compile time method we are going to get. Any explanation is required about this one? So here we observed synchronizer of x is nothing but x is what time? Primitive time. For the primitive lock concept is not there. That's why immediately compile time method we are going to get. One important conclusion about synchronizer block. Just observe this one. Let me take same. Here I am taking int x is equal to 10. Here just observe int x is equal to 10. Let me take int x is equal to 10 and the synchronized of x I am taking. synchronized of x. I'm taking right. Can you tell is it valid or invalid? Invalid. Immediately do you know compile time error you are going to get. Are getting? Can you spell out what that error? Unexpected type. Unexpected type. Found int required is nothing but what? Reference. Found int required reference. Reference is nothing but either object or class or something like. So found int but required is nothing but reference. Very important conclusion, right? Okay. Add. Lock concept applicable. Lock concept applicable. Lock concept applicable. Lock concept applicable for. Lock concept applicable for object types and the class types. Object types and the class types. Object types and the class types. Object types and the class types, but not for primitives. But not for primitives. Object types and the class types, but not for primitives. But not for primitives. Hence, but not for primitives. Hence, we can't pass primitive type as argument to. Hence, we can't pass primitive type as argument to. We can't pass primitive type as argument to. As argument to synchronized block. We can't pass primitive type as argument to synchronized block. Synchronized block. Otherwise, we will get compile time error. Otherwise we will get compile time error saying. Otherwise we will get compile time error saying unexpected type. Saying unexpected type found int required reference. Unexpected type found int required reference. Unexpected type found int required reference. So same. Take this example and then you can take. Take clearly. I hope is clear, right? This is one last loophole what we have. Okay, make sure you can. So I hope you people got clearly what is synchronized method, synchronized block, what is object level lock, class level lock, like these are things clear for all of you, right? So from this synchronization concept, what are various important questions for the interview room? Okay, this is, let me add some important FAQs. Okay, keep submitting FAQs. Some important FAQs what we have. Okay, so add the first one. There are some more. Add the first one. If you required answer anywhere, let me know. If you required answer anywhere, let me know. Add first one. What is a synchronized keyword? What is a synchronized keyword? What is synchronized keyword? Where we can apply. What is synchronized keyword? Where we can apply. Where we can apply. What is synchronized keyword? Where we can apply. Now simple. What the answer for this? Synchronizer is the modifier applicable for methods, blocks, but not for variables and classes. Okay, we know. Add second. Explain advantage of synchronizer keyword. Explain advantage of synchronizer keyword. Explain advantage of synchronizer keyword. Synchronizer keyword. Can I spell out what the advantage of synchronizer keyword? We can resolve data inconsistency problems. We can resolve data inconsistency problems. Not required to add answer. Next, third one. Explain disadvantage of synchronizer keyword. Explain disadvantage of synchronizer keyword. Disadvantage of synchronizer keyword. Synchronizer keyword. Can I spell out? What is the disadvantage of synchronizer keyword? It increases waiting time of threads and create performance problems, right? Okay, this is the problem. Next, the fourth one. What is a race condition? What is a race condition? Race condition. And it is also important for you. What is a race condition? Do you know? Here the word I didn't spell out, but the concept is okay, we covered already, but I didn't use the word race condition word. Here, if multiple threads operating simultaneously on the same Java object, now if multiple threads operating simultaneously on same Java object, then there may be a chance of data inconsistency problem. Are you getting? Maybe a chance of what? Data inconsistency problem. This is nothing but race condition, right? Okay, if multiple threads are operating simultaneously on the same Java object and causing data inconsistency problems is nothing but what? Race condition, right? Okay, so how we can resolve race condition? How we can resolve race condition? By using synchronized method concept, or so by using synchronized keyword. Okay, add this. If multiple threads are operating, if multiple threads are operating simultaneously, if multiple threads are operating simultaneously on same Java object, multiple threads are operating simultaneously on same Java object, multiple threads are operating simultaneously on same Java object, then there may be a chance of data inconsistency problem. Then there may be a chance of data inconsistency problem. Data inconsistency problem. Okay, problem. This is called race condition. Next, we can overcome this problem. By using synchronized modifier or synchronized keyword. We can overcome this problem by using synchronized keyword. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, this next one, add. So next up, what is object lock? And when it is required? What is object lock and when it is required? Sir, what is object lock? Every object in Java has a unique lock, which is nothing but object lock. When a thread require object lock, whenever a thread wants to execute a synchronized method, synchronized method, then the thread required object lock. Next, add. What is class level lock? And when it is required? What is class level lock and when it is required? What is class level lock and when it is required? What is class level lock and when it is required? You know, every class in Java has a unique lock, which is nothing but class level lock. And when it is required? Whenever if a thread wants to execute static synchronized method, then the thread requires this lock. Next, what is the difference between class level lock and object level lock? What is the difference between class level lock and object level lock? What is the difference between class level lock and object level lock? So if a thread wants to execute static synchronized method, class level lock is required. If a thread wants to execute instance synchronized method, then object level lock is required. Okay, this is next question. Eighth one. While a thread executing synchronized method, on the given object, while thread executing synchronized method on the given object, is the remaining threads are allowed to execute. Is the remaining threads are allowed to execute. Is the remaining threads are allowed to execute any other synchronized method. Any other synchronized method. Any other synchronized method simultaneously on the same object. Any other synchronized method simultaneously. Any other synchronized method simultaneously on the same object. Simultaneously on the same object. Any other synchronized method simultaneously on the same object. On the same object. On the same object. Can you spell out what the answer you people can able to get? Okay. Yes or no? No. Any other method also on the same object simultaneously? No. 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 Okay. Next. What is a synchronized block? What is a synchronized block? What is synchronized? Synchronized block. What is synchronized block? Okay. You know what is the synchronized block. Next. How to declare synchronized block? How to declare synchronized block? How to declare synchronized block? To get lock off. To get lock off. To get lock off current object. To get lock off current object. To get lock off current object. Current object. You know synchronized of this. Next. Next. How to declare synchronized block? How to declare synchronized block? How to declare synchronized block? Block. How to declare synchronized block? To get class level lock. To get a class level lock. How to declare synchronized block? To get class level lock. Class level lock. Synchronized of display dot class is nothing but any class name dot class like. Next. What is the advantage of? What is the advantage of? What is the advantage of synchronized block? What is the advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method? What is the advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method? Over synchronized method. What is the advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method? Can you spell out what is the advantage of synchronized block over synchronized method? What advantage you can able to tell? Performance by default will be improved and the waiting time of the threads will be reduced. Next point. Next. Is a thread can acquire? Is a thread can acquire? Is a thread can acquire multiple locks simultaneously? Is a thread can acquire multiple locks simultaneously? Is a thread can acquire multiple locks simultaneously? Simultaneously? Can you spell out what the answer? Is a thread can acquire multiple locks simultaneously? No. Are you getting? No or yes? Yes or no? Make sure a thread can acquire multiple locks simultaneously. Yes. The reason is observe this one. Sir, here, suppose just observe. See this one. Sir, I have one class X is there. I have one class X is there. Within this public, okay, synchronized, public synchronized void, public synchronized void, M1 method is there. Public synchronized void M1 method is there. So within that M1, I am creating y is equal to new y, and I am creating y object. Synchronized of y. Synchronized of y I am taking, right. Okay. Within that I am taking z is equal to new z. Z is equal to new z. Synchronized of z. Synchronized of z. Synchronized block. End of this synchronized block. Okay. End of synchronized method. End of class. Are you getting that? Okay. This is my code. Now I want to call M1 method. Sir, I want to call M1 method. To call M1 method, compulsory, sir, I am creating X object, X dot M1. If a thread want to call synchronizer method, compulsory thread required, here thread required lock of X, because on the X object my thread calling M1, compulsory thread required lock of X. Now thread got lock of X, and then thread starts execution of M1. But within that I am creating an object, object of Y, and the synchronizer of Y to entered into synchronizer block. Okay, compulsory which lock must be required? Y lock also required. Already X lock is there, Y lock is also required. Now here thread has lock of X object. Correct or not? Here thread has lock of X object. Now if I entered into synchronizer block, here thread has how many locks? X lock and Y lock. Sir, without having the Y lock, how you can enter? Here thread has locks of X and Y. Locks of X and Y. X and Y. Sir, okay. X and Y locks are there. Now I am creating Z object, synchronizer of Z. Can you tell here thread has how many locks, Anna? Thread has locks of X, Y and Z. Now my question is a thread can acquire multiple locks simultaneously or not? Yes, of course, from different objects. Are you getting? Every object in Java has unique lock only, but my thread has 3 locks, from 3 different objects, right? You should aware. Okay, add. What question you two can spell out? Is a thread can acquire multiple locks or not? What the answer? Yes, of course, and yes, of course, from different objects. Yes, of course, from different objects. Yes, of course, from different objects. Okay, take this example, right? Clearly, is a thread can acquire multiple locks simultaneously or not? What answer you can tell? Yes. Here thread has lock of X object. Here thread has locks of X and Y. Here thread has locks of X, Y, Z. Thread has lock of X object. Next, synchronizer of Y. Next, here thread has locks of X and Y. Synchronizer of Z. Here thread has locks of X, Y, Z. Completed, right? So a thread can acquire multiple locks simultaneously. A thread can acquire multiple locks simultaneously, of course, from different thread objects. Clear, right? Okay. Next, one more question. So one more question for you. Here, see, this point is also a bit important for you. Sir, what is synchronized statement? Okay, add. What is completed, right? This example. What is synchronized statement? What is synchronized statement? Synchronized statement. What is synchronized statement? Synchronized statement. Can I spell out? What is the synchronized statement? Actually, as per Java specification, there is no such a type of terminology. But interview people created terminology, the synchronized statement. What is the synchronized statement? According to them, the statements present inside synchronized method. Synchronized method, okay, are the statements present inside synchronized block. These statements are nothing but synchronized statements. In their perspective, the statement which can be executed by only one thread at a time is nothing but synchronized statement. Add what question you do? Can you spell out what is synchronized statement? Within bracket, interview people created terminology. Interview people created terminology. Interview people created terminology. Interview people created terminology. Created terminology. Okay. Now add the statements present in synchronized method. The statements present in synchronized method. The statements present in synchronized method and synchronized block. The statements present in synchronized method and synchronized block are called synchronized statements. Are called synchronized statements. Are called synchronized statements. Synchronized statements. That's all. Are you getting the point? Right? Okay. This is, make sure you people should have clarity, right? Okay.